Okay, welcome back to a normal episode again, where hopefully the audio's not so bad as last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not going to do a list this week. We're just going to talk and decompress, right?
Yeah, because you said no deep topics or any complex ones. So
Yeah, we're
just
going to keep it fun this time.
So what do you think about Bernie Sanders dropping out of the campaign race?
Well, when I first found that out, I was half awake, and I was really hoping it would be a dream, but it turned out not to be a dream.
You've been doing on your quarantine break?
I was sad about that. Not much, really.
You haven't had much of a quarantine break because you're still working.
Yeah, it's pretty much same schedule for me. It's just I can't do stuff now. But I'd rather have nothing to do all day.
You can't. I don't know. The area you're in is very populated, so restaurants are the thing to do. So it kind of sucks being where you are because now there's nothing for you to do.
I mean, it helps that I can still Grubhub stuff, but there's
nobody around you.
Yeah,
you can't make friends down there.
Yeah, I can't go out in public or anything really. I think I leave the house maybe once a week, and it's usually just for groceries.
You get to spend time with your family on Easter?
Yeah, I got to see some family from a distance.
6 feet apart. Dude, your sister's on the front lines, bro. I'd be careful of her ass.
I know. That's kind of scary. And then Caitlin,
Avery's sister.
Caitlin, my wife, works at Starbucks, and they're still operating, so I'm pretty high exposure.
Don't go out much. But you didn't before quarantine either.
Nah, not really. I mean, more than I used to, which is weird, but it doesn't bother me too much that I can't go out.
Dog, I built a theme park.
What?
I built a theme park on my quarantine time.
You built a theme park?
Yeah, we took a bunch of Connects and made a bunch of roller coasters.
Was that something you got on Easter, or did you just have that?
Oh, they had two. Because we've been doing puzzles at the wazoo on our, because I work 3 days a week and I have school 2 days. But on those 2 days, if I get all my work done early, I just kind of have more of a free day.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing quarantine stuff, and we're too advanced for this. And we're like, let's do some Connects, some roller coasters. Now, I have not been building much.
Now, is everyone over there just home all day?
Most of them, yeah. Hannah works, but...
Oh, she still works?
All the time. And Avery's over there, so he'll come and hang out sometimes, too.
That's so weird to me. Just hanging out at the compound.
He came over, we played Mario Party. He helped with one of the roller coasters.
Did you name the roller coaster?
Already named.
It was already named?
Yeah, a lot of them are already named. Some of them are ridiculous. Some of them are 5 feet tall.
Dang.
And then some of them are 2 feet. They're cool, though. It's weird, engineering, too, because I've yet to see them build one where it, is perfect. There's always, either a piece missing or it doesn't quite work right. Because the motors eventually, start to die out and stuff. And Connects gives you extra pieces. It's pretty much like making a 3D puzzle. It makes me wish we did Legos.
Is your family happy that you stay out of the house?
And then I'm not here as often?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of minded myself when I am here.
Do they even know when you leave?
Huh?
Do they notice when you're not home?
Just when I'm in the way when I park.
Wait, why are you talking so fast?
Are you not? Will you sleep-oo?
No, I mean, you were talking high speed. I wonder if it was lagging and trying to catch up your voice, but you sounded like you were in fast forward mode. You were going 1.5, dude.
Dude, I mean, also, I bought Hannah Animal Crossing, and I've been watching her play it. It's pretty cool.
Wait, you bought her it, or you bought yourself it and she's playing it?
I bought her it.
Oh.
Because I knew she'd enjoy it more than I would. And she really enjoys it. I haven't been playing my Switch besides Zelda, and I already beat it again.
Oh my god. I don't think I could play that game a second time.
Zelda?
Yeah, it just felt really long.
I could play that over and over. There's a few games like I could play just over and over again.
I mean, we were talking about it when we were doing the list, but I think I logged maybe 105 hours into that game. I couldn't imagine playing that again.
I'm at 200.
Jesus. Yeah, so
Um,
it's a 100-hour game.
some games that you play just over and over again if you could. Like you're on a desert island and you know you're only gonna get like 5 games. What are they?
Um, City Skylines. Uh, I'd pick a
Probably bring
Mario
Uncharted
game.
4, Zelda, and no, I can't do 5. It'll just
Yeah,
be those two.
it's hard. I'd
Dude, you'll
want a
be
game
logging
that
on. Do
just,
you ever see me just playing it?
yes, it makes me mad.
Is it mad because like I could be playing like Red Dead or something with some of this extra time?
Yeah. Or wait, are you talking about Zelda or Uncharted? Because both of them make me mad when I see you playing.
Which one makes you? I feel like Uncharted probably makes you more upset because I played that game more than any game I've ever played.
I don't know. It's pretty equal.
Just it's so like, especially Uncharted. Once you get past that chapter where he's scuba diving, it's like nonstop.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I muscle through that one sometimes, but it's kind of short. But once you get to like Scotland, or not Scotland, the mansion part at the beginning in Italy,
Hmm.
it's like hard to put down.
I don't know. I think when I was playing it, it just felt slow. Like the movement felt slow. I think I've
You know
just
what
been
else I
playing so many
started?
fast-paced games, and I'm just not used to playing a slow adventure game.
It's pretty fast paced at certain parts.
But like the
I've been
combat
playing. I started Ocarina of Time over again.
on 64.
Now on the 3DS.
Oh,
I also bought Majora's Mask because it was only $15 for the 3DS
huh.
before.
And
I haven't started it yet. If I remember correctly, it's not that good though, because like I think I started it one time, but only got to the first dungeon, got frustrated and stopped. And that was on the there's like some GameCube version, whatever. Blue 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 pee 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 poop poop. Poop. Who cares about this?
yeah, let's get to the real stuff.
What's one of your topics then?
Let's see. Oh, today everyone has received their stimulus.
Dude, that's been a nightmare. I
Yeah.
work at a bank, and that's all the calls were, like over and over again. Dude,
I
there's
couldn't
one guy.
imagine. My bank was closed all day, and like I finally just checked my email. I was like, "This amount has been deposited into your bank," and I was like, "Oh,
Bank
that
was
means I got it then."
closed today.
No, the mobile banking was down for
Well, yeah, our stuff was down too.
yeah, because everyone's
And
trying to
dude, it's a nightmare.
flood
Some
it.
people get mad. So people aren't realizing that. Well, they're realizing it now because they're not getting their money. That the IRS sent it to whatever you put on your account last year. So all these people who closed their account within this past year are like flipping out because they're like, "Where'd my money go?" And I'm like, "It went back to the IRS. You better call them, boy." One dude was getting on my nerves. He was like, "Yeah, what am I supposed to do about it?" I'm like, call the government, you idiot.
What you should have been
He's
like,
like,
"What am I supposed to do about it?"
he was like, he's like, they're just so slow. It's so stupid. I'm like, yeah, the government's slow. Where are you? Where have you been this whole time? No one likes the government.
Yeah, it's so dumb how they did everyone's on the same day.
And some people didn't get theirs because of how long it takes. So I think they're going in batches. So some people aren't getting theirs till tomorrow, and that also made people mad because they're like, "Well, I'm supposed to have it.
Oh
My rent's
God.
due."
Oh. Yeah, I've got it and it's just sitting in my bank right now. I don't really know what to do with it.
And what
Cuz
are you gonna
I
do with
mean,
it?
we're both still working, so we don't need it right now. I was thinking about getting a TV, but I also just kind of want to put it in my savings and see if I'm going to need it. because we're trying to
Talking
buy a
to my mom
house.
about that because part of it I think was designed so you'd go spend some of it. Because if
Yeah,
you just end up saving it, then you're not helping the small businesses it impacts, right?
right.
Especially if you're working. That's the thing. All these jobs that laid these people off, better clarity from their employers. Because some employers are just kind of shady about it. I feel
Yeah.
bad. Because you'd assume, like, well, they're firing me instead of just putting me on temporary leave. That way I can file for unemployment. Because I think
Yeah,
if you
that's
put
what I
someone on
don't.
temporary leave, they can't.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's why people are getting fired.
If they're getting fired, they're able to file for unemployment. I think that's the intent, but employers aren't being transparent with that.
Right. So these people who got fired, are they going to have to reapply for their jobs or what the
And
hell?
that's what's scary is like, it's almost like a weird way to get rid of everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people who slacked off on their previous job, if you got fired, like it's kind of a way for them to not hire you back.
Yeah.
AMC's going through it. I know somebody who's working at AMC, the Muncie one, I think. Yeah, Muncie or Noblesville, and they were saying like, um, they're having like they got told like, don't count on coming back.
Damn.
I guess AMC went bankrupt.
Yeah, that could have been the reason too, because they're saying they're going to shut down, but I've also heard stories that they're not going to.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with movies.
Yeah.
Trolls is the test, and Trolls, from what I understand, have been reading, has been doing good, which is not good for the movie industry as far as movie theaters.
Oh, yeah, because that was premiered online, wasn't it?
And if it does financially better than it would at the box office, you'll probably not see any more movies come out on theaters because it costs more than it does. It costs more to do that, right? So if you can just release it digitally and just get all that money straight
Yeah.
without having to pay these theaters to host it or these companies to host it,
I wonder if it's
why
as
would you even
expensive
bother?
as going to the movie theater too. Because like if you go to the movie theater, you're guaranteed spending more than $40,
You're spending about $10 a person at a movie theater. The thing is with that,
not
you're not
including
spending as much
snacks.
because I think it's $12 to get Trolls. You bring a family of five, like I'd say probably about 1 to 3 people are going to watch that movie together. So like that's right.
Yeah.
Because if let's say me and you went to the movie theater to go see Trolls, we're spending $10 a piece. But at home, if it's just $12, we're both still watching it.
Oh yeah, that's
So it's
true.
cost less for us, but it costs less for us, and they're getting all of that money.
Yeah.
As to where when our tickets, they're probably getting $1 per ticket.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, how crazy would that be to just be able to stay at home and watch a new movie that comes out though?
it depend what movie though, because that's the other thing is I seriously don't know after the Marvel movies what the next big thing's gonna be. I think those are also dead. I don't think you'll ever get that end game again.
No.
I heard that they're going with the Osborns, and that seems to be what these rumors are leading to is that the Osborns are going to be the next like big arc, like Thanos.
Yeah,
But
has
you're
there
not.
been any sort of other indication to another superhero movie since Infinity War or
They
Endgame?
are doing Phase 4. Did you hear who's directing Doctor Strange 2?
No.
Sam Raimi. He's
Oh,
already been
really?
confirmed. He's been tweeting about it. Yeah,
Oh shit.
isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, I that one's supposed to be a horror, isn't it?
Or in quotes, it's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, don't get
scary.
don't get excited.
I never even saw the first Doctor Strange.
But yeah, I don't like. What do you think the next big movie genre is going to be?
I have no clue.
I think if they can get the quality there, I think video game movies have a decent shot.
Yeah,
I think there's really only one way to go about it.
they've been trying for a while.
Like the Uncharted movies coming out. I think a retelling of the first game, from what I've read, that's not what they're doing, but that would be a horrible idea. The best way to do that kind of movie is like that short thing with Nathan Fillion.
Mm,
It's like canonical and it takes place between stuff.
yeah, It's like a side story.
Yeah. So
Or
like
that
from
like
what I
kind of expands on the lore because there's a bunch of stuff that happens in between those.
actually with 4 with Sam.
Yeah,
So the beginning of 3 when he meets Sully, like that chapter 2 thing,
yeah.
there's that whole gap of time between that and when they go to Panama's prison. And I think that's when because Tom Holland said they're taking a lot of inspiration from Uncharted 4. 'Cause like they've casted Sam and stuff. So I
Hmm.
bet and that's who the main characters are Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan. And Sully's played by what's his name? He's got a burger place.
What?
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg?
Well, because he was so when this movie was originally thought, he was supposed to be Nathan Drake. Like he was cast to play Nathan Drake, but it's been so long
What
in
do they have
production
these
hell.
A-list celebrities playing?
Huh?
Why do they have these A-list celebrities doing it?
So Mark Wahlberg's been attached to this since the beginning. He's a producer of it.
Oh,
I bet
really?
he played the first game and has been wanting to make it since.
That's wild.
Well, it's wild because he's a producer, and usually, like in that case, they'd be main characters, but he's not. He's solely he's the
Supporting actor.
supporting character.
Hmm.
Um, so I bet, in Tom Holland's Nathan Drake,
Yeah.
Tom Holland said that they were all like, they all played through Uncharted 4 to get the feeling of it, and he said it's like inspired him a lot. I hope they HBO series The Last of Us. I hope they get Neil Druckmann or some writer to come in and help.
Neil Druckmann and who?
Or just a writer in general.
Oh.
Amy Hennig would be cool if they brought her back just to have her write or help write on that movie.
Hmm. Do you think another thing that kind of happened, speaking of movies, is Bob Iger came back to Disney. Did you see that?
Yeah, it makes me think that there was something happened there.
You think they're bringing him back for maybe Star Wars? Because there's a lot of Star Wars YouTube channels that I've followed that have been saying this would be good for the series, and also people saying that Kathleen Kennedy has left.
Yeah, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is being replaced by Bob Iger because that's
That's
not
not.
the kind of.
Yeah, I don't think
Huh.
that's not what they're saying. It's just that she is leaving the Star Wars space, and Bob Iger coming back might be something hopeful for the Star Wars series.
Oh, so he'd deal more in financial. I think he left for something completely unrelated. I bet it was like it had to have been contract or HR related. Probably more contract related. Like I bet he wasn't getting paid as much, which he he can really bargain anything. I mean, that dude made it what it is as far as financially going right now.
Yeah.
Decisions. I think a lot of analysis that Kathleen Kennedy is being replaced by John Favreau.
Hmm.
Personally, I would have the Russo brothers take over Star Wars.
I don't know. John Favreau's doing a great job with Mandalorian. Like that's the most Star Wars thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, but I think he does well with that kind of scale
He's
as to
also
where
working with George Lucas, which is not what anyone with the mainline movies really did, besides the first one with J.J. Abrams.
I think with George Lucas, I think it's smart because I think people want to get in that nasty nitty gritty, like here's what this character's dad's name was and bullshit like that. Um, I think
Yeah, I mean that's
who
all
would
Star
you who
Wars
would you
is.
honestly
The
where do you
story
want
of
to see
Star
them go?
Wars is pretty much just like the lineage of Anakin Skywalker.
But you could do so much with it. And I think George Lucas, like, have you ever read some of the stuff he wanted to do?
Some things.
I don't know what he called them, but he called them some beings that like ruled everything that he really wanted to get into.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about? He had a
uh,
name for him.
fuck. It's like the first species or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll get that gross or
No.
stupid, but I think them hiring him on because it's like he has these ideas. If you can polish them, they're good.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
when
mean
you that's
that's kind of what his legacy is. It's like he never really wanted to be the director. I think he just wanted to produce things without getting studios involved.
I think that whole new trilogy was a test on how much can fan service get us by. There's nothing new about that new trilogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can hate the prequels, which is fair, and I think they did it in the wrong direction. But it's weird because like there's the original trilogy, but when they did the prequels, it was like completely different. It's almost like two different movie series.
Yeah, I mean you could watch that separate from the first six and
No idea.
yeah.
If they weren't all called Star Wars, you would not assume. I
Yeah.
mean, like, but with this new trilogy, it's literally like it's very similar to the original trilogy. It's not new. Think that's what I hope they go in that direction. I hope whatever they make next is like completely different.
I don't even think this new trilogy is nothing. Like what the fuck is it?
It's very inconsequential if you think about it.
I rewatched 9 and that was one of my topics I wanted to touch on. But like it's still a good movie. Like the pacing's still off in the beginning. But I think they wrapped up what they could with that trilogy, but it's so far away from what the core Star Wars saga was.
But my thing is, you don't even have to do that. It's just it, like it in the end, like it's just a remake. It's like a half attempt at something new, half attempt at remake.
Yeah.
Um, like about someone else.
Do you feel bad for
That's what
JJ?
I like about the Mandalorian, huh?
Do you feel bad for JJ?
I kind of feel bad for everyone involved. Like even Ryan Johnson, I don't think anyone was really to blame.
Did
I
you
think it's too many cooks in the kitchen type deal. I
eh,
think Ryan Johnson, if he had complete control, would have had a cohesive story. Because my thing is, the more I think about it, there's no way he wrote that. Like any of them, like JJ with 7 and 9, or even Ryan Johnson. I bet they were all told this is your deadline, and if you're going to be a part of this project and write for it, you have to have it done by this time. I bet that's why it's so like disconjointed, because like Ryan Johnson was told this is where like this is the basic story beats and this is how this is going to get there.
Absolutely. I mean, every
So
one of
you
them
need to
came out at the same date on the same month, exactly 2 years apart.
like I think they didn't write together in any sort of sense. That's why like it's hard to be well he just threw everything away that JJ started. It's like, well, how long did they give him in advance to know plot details?
And to play around with it.
Because I bet he literally before the movie even came out or it was even finished in script, he had to have his shit like started. So it's like by the time it's finished and released, they're shit in there. He's like, well, I don't know how else to get around this, and I can't. With that kind of movie, if you're gonna have it that scheduled out, you can't have too many revisions, right?
I think he's still messed up with trying to take too many risks with it.
But how would he have known like that they weren't taking risks, right? I'm saying like he didn't have enough info to know what was happening. Yeah, he may have taken risk, but in his mind, he may have thought, like, well, this is how they're getting to this beat. Like, because I don't think he wrote the concepts at all. I don't think JJ did either. I think they had meetings where they had a skeleton, plot beats. Here's how you need to get there, or
Well,
not. No, here's the
so
plot beats, but you design how you get there.
so JJ didn't write the first movie. They had the guy who wrote 4 come in and write episode 7, which is I'm pretty sure why it's so similar.
How did they share with Ryan Johnson?
They didn't. So Ryan
That's
Johnson wrote and directed 8. They did not have somebody else come in and write it for him. He was supposed to just direct it, like JJ did.
how much did he know? Like how much of seven? That's what it feels like to me. The more I think about the whole trilogy, is how much of each movie did they each know was going on? Like
Oh,
how
I
much
have
of
no
seven did
idea.
he know when he was writing eight?
I have no fucking clue.
That's the thing with nine. It's like, well, how long did he know what was happening before it was came out? It's just it's so inconcise. I think the whole idea of like having other people be involved with different movies was stupid.
What you said earlier about having too many cooks in the kitchen,
Mm.
Daisy Ridley this past week actually appeared on a podcast and has spoken out for the first time about episode 9. And that was one of the biggest things she had to say about it too. It's just there were so many people involved that I think it just kind of got lost in itself. And
Lost in the sauce.
another thing she wanted to she kept trying to point out is like she was confused about where the love went for the movie because she said January was a pretty tough time, I guess, for the Star Wars movies or the newer one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Another thing I noticed that people are retroactively like shitting on seven. That was not the attitude at the time.
Mm-mm.
Anyone who like seven's such a different beast. Like it's so different from eight and nine. Like eight and nine had controversy. Seven had no controversy at the time. Like the only thing people had issue with was the retreading of plot points, but
Yeah,
people still loved that movie.
yeah, I still love that movie. I think 7 and 9 are still okay movies. Like
Yeah, I
I
think
still
seven's
have
on a
fun
league of
with
its
them.
own. Seven was so much better than eight and nine. I think even combined. So
Yeah.
is a league of its like people love that. When people, I think there are a lot of liars. It's a whole Wind Waker thing of people not liking that cartoony style, but nowadays they're like all nostalgic for it. It's like the opposite. People
Nostalgia
are all
hate.
but people had all these like love boners for seven. Now that no one likes eight and nine, we got to retroactively go and hate that one too. It's like, no, you like that one. Don't you lie about it.
I mean, maybe that will be Disney's next investment. Maybe they'll try to fix it. Not Star Wars,
And
but like not that trilogy, but like try to keep it expanding and maybe move on from it.
I think they have a lot of ways they can go about it. I think the movies should be done. Stop making movies. They're not good. Stop it.
You think they might just keep pursuing
Like,
shows like Mandalorian? Did you ever
yeah, I
finish
think
watching that?
I did.
Okay, good.
I think they'll go with Mandalorian, and I think the video game, that Fallen Order franchise, will, because that's already their best-selling EA game.
Oh yeah.
It's the best-selling Star Wars game of all time, and
Didn't
that's including the Lego games.
didn't Disney get their hands on that somehow? Or may
Disney was a producer on it.
Oh shit.
Disney already had their hands on it.
I think I was thinking about the Spider-Man games
Oh, with
with Sony.
the PS4 games.
Yeah. Sony and Sony
So
and Insomniac.
I know I've read a lot about that. So um they from what the guy so I watched this podcast interview with the guy who directed the game and he was like they did not interfere much.
That's good.
They're like in fact all the big because they didn't know. I mean they might now that it's like with Spider-Man being the best-selling game on the PS4.
Yeah.
Um they'll probably I just don't know. I don't think they'll goof with that either. I think they'll leave both of those alone.
Did you see the new promo for Spider-Verse 2?
That's fake. Is that thing you liked on Twitter with all their
Oh,
hands in there?
yeah. It was
Yeah,
fake.
that wasn't real.
Damn it.
Yeah, I looked it up after because I was like, man, that's cool. And then no, it's fake.
Oh, Scarlet Spider on there. That would be so cool.
He's in the movie.
Scarlet Spider?
Oh, Scarlet Spider? No, sorry. I was
That's
thinking
the guy with the
Spider.
blue hoodie.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that. Spider Man's its own beast.
And then Venom 2 is supposed to be coming out. I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
interesting to see what all movies and everything get postponed in air quotes.
so much that's like Disney buying Marvel kind of made more of a mess, I think, than they anticipated because that Venom was being made before that deal was done. Like that was in
Before they
pre-production.
bought Marvel?
Yeah,
When did they buy Marvel? Like 2012?
yeah, because it was after the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
They were producing Venom before 2012?
Yeah, there's a whole Sinister Six line. That's what Morbius is too. But Morbius takes place. So have you seen that trailer?
Yes, I think.
There's so it's so they reference because obviously at the end of that trailer there's the Vulture like Michael Keaton, which
Mm,
is Spider-Man Homecoming.
right.
But the poster is a Sam Raimi suit. And it's a
What?
screenshot from Spider-Man PS4.
Wait,
Like,
what?
where does this take place? It's in Venom's universe.
Maybe they're doing IRL Spider Verse. I don't know.
That's so confusing to me because it's like they reference the Venom movie.
Next thing
They
you know, you'll
reference
have Tobey Maguire in the Spider Verse movie,
I think that's a thing.
running
Well,
around with a
I've
bunch of
read that that's
animated
what they
people,
wanted him. They wanted him to be the opening guy.
but like not his actual self, like an animated
Oh,
version
oh
of
yeah, yeah.
him. I'm saying like, what if they like green screen his ass into an animated movie like Space Jam?
That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be so funny. That'd be a
Or
good
like
like
these
blooper
super
reel.
or these hyper realistic like graphics on this next Spider-Man movie, but like they add in a PS4 graphics looking
Oh my
Spider-Man
god.
where he's like got polygons sticking out and stuff.
Oh jeez.
They need to figure what they're going out because then it's like Carnage is involved and they really are trying to get a Sinister Six going because that movie's it's still slated on that phase thing.
Would that be under Sony?
That's the thing. They're not they've extended their deal.
Whatever happened with
So
that? Did Disney
Tom
succumb
Holland
to?
called. They did. So now there's a Spider-Man deal going on right now for more movies.
Hmm.
I think they said three is what's confirmed, but there could be more.
So Disney finally backed down.
I don't think either company had anything to gain from separating. I think they both benefit.
Hmm.
And anybody who thinks differently, I just don't see how. Like, I don't think them pulling out Spider-Man helps their company at all.
Yeah.
Disney losing Spider-Man hurts.
Yeah.
That's like still their biggest character. That
which is why
they can't
they're
deny that.
which is why them throwing a hissy fit made no sense.
Don't you? Well, okay, so it's like they're kind of getting stole on. Like they got slapped, Sony, because Disney was wanting more money, and they thought, well, you can't do anything about it if I request more of the share of this property.
Mm,
Sony was like, well, we still own it, so we'll just back out of this deal.
yeah. And then they tried to
So
pull
in
the
doing
fan
that, they both
service
lose.
card.
No one was going to side with either one. That's some like
Well, do you remember
that's too
when
into the weeds for anyone to care,
do
huh?
you remember when they did that and everyone was blaming Disney or Sony
Yeah.
because of the whole Tom Holland issue? I was like, fuck that. I want Spider-Verse. Fuck Tom Holland.
Oh, it could all still work. It's just I don't know how long this whole train's gonna last. I think Spider-Man's its last legs. Oh, on the DC side, it seems they're having quite a resurgence.
Yeah. Well,
The movie is good. It really could like change the tide here,
I don't know cuz Birds of Prey just came out.
but it's not good.
Exactly. So what are you saying
It's
like
debatable. No, like Joker is one of the highest grossing. It was
oh,
$1 billion movie,
was that a DC movie though? I thought that wasn't a DC movie.
but neither's Batman. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Black Adam or Shazam's gonna do well because those are the only two that there were. Oh, and Flash. Like I don't think those will do that well.
What about Wonder Woman?
Do well. That's kind of stuck in this whole Corona shit.
Did that one ever come out?
Oh,
Was it
it's got
supposed
pushed
to?
back to August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, they'll do fine. Like I think they'll do normal numbers, but as far as $1 billion, I think Batman has a chance.
The new one?
This Robert Pattinson Batman,
I don't know, man.
because I think people like that kind of artsy fartsy stuff for that character. Because
Mm,
there's really no other way to do him.
I don't
honestly.
know. I think this is going more of a Birds of Prey route.
I don't. I think it's more of a Joker route. I think you hire like an actual, like when you take time to make it simple. Birds
Who
of Prey is too complex. Like you have people doing
who's directing that
like
Batman?
I know with Batman and the Joker, I think those movies do better because they're not ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like no one's shooting laser beams
They're
in either of these movies.
darker movies. I noticed DC does well with darker stories.
Yeah, but it doesn't always have to be overt. Like The Dark Knight is not a dark movie. I don't like when people like when they call it edgy.
It's
It's
got
not.
it's got dark elements to it, I would say.
Be like the themes of like actual colors, but as far as like edgy material, no. Now, is there philosophy in there? Yeah, but that doesn't make it dark.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with having a movie that adds philosophy to it. I think that's like part of the best parts of Infinity War is like Thanos.
Dark Knight it wasn't dark, but it was intense. I think that's
Yeah.
what people are mixing up with that. And who's the director of that?
No, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher, he's great at making intense action movies.
Did you remember that? Were you with me when we saw what did we watch that had the Tenet preview?
I'm pretty sure it was Star Wars.
Is it Star Wars? Is that what we watched?
I think so.
Man,
Or was it Joker?
it was Joker.
Okay.
Joker had the preview to Tenet. Woo!
Yeah, I'm
Dude, I was
excited
on the
for
edge
that
of my
movie.
seat. Like it took me a minute to be like, "Oh, this is some kind of thing,"
That's
and
gonna
then like because
that's gonna break some shit like Inception did.
it's a time involving thing, which is kind of cool. But
Yeah.
like, it was just like he's really good at creating suspense, but he's also like good at visuals. But yeah,
He's
I
good at
think,
blowing
but
your
like,
mind.
yeah, Infinity War stands up with Dark Knight. I think they add enough philosophy, but also enough like where there's more levity. So I think that's why people separate it more because it's like there's comedy in it, and comedy for some reason people don't like. As to where I thought everything in Infinity War pretty much landed. Like
Yeah.
what a 180 from Civil War. I don't know. That's been movie talk. That's my favorite talk. Is movie talk.
Me too. We should just make this a movie podcast. It's so much easier and fun.
I mean, we both know a decent amount about it, which is I think what makes us good at talking about it.
Yeah, we do actually.
That's the thing. That's why I like some of our video game talk too. I feel like it's just stuff we know a decent amount about.
I just feel like video game talk can get repetitive though. There's only so much.
Who can movie talk too? Like if we did this every week, it would get old. That's why I don't want to be just movies.
Yeah. I guess it's been a while since we've talked about it.
It's a good change of pace.
Before we go, do you want to round it back to Joe Biden?
I don't know how this is all going to play out.
Trump is going to win again.
Is
Are you kidding
I
me?
just don't like our choices.
That is, of course. Like, I'm definitely going to vote third party again.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. Okay, I'm just going to be clear. Whoever's watching, there's nothing wrong with voting for Joe Biden. Look back to, I think people vote for what's best. I really don't think there's anyone who votes for like, I want to make the country worse. So if you honestly believe that Joe Biden's the best candidate, and same with Trump, I just think what a disappointing
You
lineup.
you should have just left it at what?
Ah,
You know what's going to be great, though? What I'm really looking forward to?
are these debates?
These debates are going to be nuts. Like, nuts. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
because like
Joe
I just don't
Biden's an
understand.
idiot, and Donald Trump is so arrogant. There might be a
Dude.
fist fight.
Here's what I don't understand.
What would you do if they just started fighting?
Complained about Bernie being mean.
Oh, I
Like,
don't fucking
he went
know.
after Biden. They have no idea. Bernie literally said, "I'm not attacking him on his mental state because I think that's below the belt."
Yeah.
They are not ready.
No.
And I'll just make
The
this clear, though. I don't
Democrats.
think that makes you a good president, but it doesn't help when you can't formulate a sentence.
Yeah. Hey, fat.
Fat. Where did you go? When you go and touching on the Tuesday.
Did you? I love it when kids sit on my lap
It's when I'm in the pool,
and
the pool and my hairs,
they pull
and
my
they
leg
like to
hairs.
touch on my legs. It's like I don't know.
Have you seen?
Don't know.
Did you see that video where he almost fought like someone in the crowd? Is that like this little
There's
school?
two of them.
Jesus,
So he almost
man.
fought the dude he challenged to push-ups, and then he fought some like construction worker who asked him a question about his son.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I'm saying it's a battle of wits, but just I don't know. I don't know anyone who thinks Biden's going to win. And that's the crazy thing. I don't think anyone actually believes he's going to win. You're kind of nutso.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with voting for him. But let's be honest.
I don't think the people who are looking for a different candidate than Trump is going to be happy with Biden either.
I just hate that we don't all vote at the same time.
Yeah.
Two of the candidates I supported are gone, and I never got to vote for them.
Yep.
I wanted to vote for Andrew Yang. I didn't get to. And then Bernie's out. So now I'm stuck with this. As to where if we all voted at the same time, you'd, for one, have more actual results.
I can't believe he dropped out and then endorsed him. Like, that was nuts to me.
Yeah, but I find it oddly suspicious the same day Bernie does, Obama does.
Elizabeth
and
Warren
there's
did
that
too.
New York. Yeah, there's that New York Post thing that's or I don't know if it's the Post. There's some article. It's out there now. Like, I don't know when this goes up, Friday or whatever. If you go out now, you'll be able to find it. That like Obama called Bernie to try and convince him to drop out, and literally they both endorsed him at the same time. So
you think Obama did it?
Yeah, I think Obama probably told him, like, because let's be real, I don't know if Bernie would have had a better chance. I think he would have had a better chance, but I don't know if he would have won. And I think in the Democratic Party's mind, they really believe that Biden is the guy. He's not.
He's just going to get the
close
old
the
vote.
Gap.
Yeah, he's not going to get he's not going to get younger people to vote for him. It's just not going to happen.
I think in general there's more Republicans than Democrats, but I think there's a gap of people who aren't either. And I think that's the Rust Belt. And you've got to get those. If you're a Democrat, you have to close that gap, and he won't be able to.
Yeah, I will be surprised if he pulls ahead of Trump somehow. Even with all the shit that Trump has gone through in the past 4 years, I'm still confident he's gonna win again. I mean,
you have to take away from Trump's base because you're not going to get those middle votes because those middle votes don't want Biden. It's just not happening. So you have to, if he wants to win, he's got to pull from Trump's base. But like, opinions or whatever on the coronavirus handling. But I'll just let you know, Republicans don't view this as an L. They see this as he's responding good.
Yeah.
I think that ding is the time that we've gone on a minute.
Is that our indicator?
Yeah, when we that's the Simp bell.
Well,
okay, let's go ahead and close this out. Look, I'm making jokes here. There's no need to press on with this.
The Simp bell. Oh man, that's perfect.
Get a kick.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna mute myself. Close this out.
All right, we'll see you guys
come back
next
to me
week.
After this.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm hanging up. Get out of here.
Bye guys.
See you next time.